Can you repeat the question because we didn't
So the
hear?
question was about the relationship between disc problems in the neck and breathing and numbness in the face, cervical discs,
breathing problems suddenly triggered
as a result of
thoracic reasons.
thoracic discs as well.
Because at the hospital I'm finding that cause, but I'm making that connection.
Yeah, completely. So what I love about what I do is most people that come to see me who are looking for pain relief get those things. But what I really love is those changes that people get that they're not expecting, and often those things take a little bit longer than just getting people out of pain. So the question was about how whether there's a relationship between what's going on in somebody's neck and lungs and face, and so C345 keeps the diaphragm alive. The third, fourth, and fifth cervical vertebra control the diaphragm. You can see here that the nervous system controls all of the organs as well. And we know that, for example, babies with or even asthma symptoms are really nicely helped with chiropractic. Are we having a direct effect on the asthma, or are we having a direct effect on the lung control? I would argue it's the lung control. And we also know that the facial nerve pops out here. You have the trigeminal, all the cranial nerves can be heavily affected with chiropractic as well. So I don't know the case specifically, but if you're asking me about can cervical disc problems contribute to lung dysfunction? Yes. Can they contribute to other dysfunctions like heart, blood pressure issues? I would argue absolutely. Did that answer your question? Give me more questions. So I'll answer the, yeah, I understand what you're asking. So do we have to change our thinking for our brains to work better? So in my opinion, health is not just about, for example, how we exercise. It's not how we use our bodies. It is that, but it's also, I look at health in 5 different ways. I look at where our environmental health, where do we live? Who do we spend time with? Are we living in Chernobyl, or are we living in the healthy air of Tzfat? What do we put in our bodies? What do we eat? How do we think? What's our emotional health like? Physical, so how do we use our bodies? And that's the one we've already just. And neurological health. And neurological health is something that I deal with every day. So it's yeah, you certainly have the right. And what's the most healthy for you? And is my contribution towards your health the only contribution towards health? Of course it isn't. Of course you need to look at health it's a multifaceted approach. You can be the most physical person, you can do all the right exercises, but if you're not thinking the right way, if you have mental health problems, or even just we talked about who was talking about that before. We talked about about an event in your life. How does that affect you? How does the shootings in Las Vegas? How does that affect your life going forward? And there's so many different ways that we need to address our health. In my opinion. Did I answer that question? I don't know.
As I understand, if you think good, you live good. I mean, how do you choose the good things, the happy
The right
things
path.
in life?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I would argue that there's a few more components to it, but definitely thinking right is so important.
It's a good beginning.
It's a huge, massive beginning. Any other questions?
I'm forced to stand up as a former patient and to simply say thank you because I'm still in pain, but no fault of yours. I was out of pain for months.
Ah, wow, nice, excellent.
So thank you, and it's really, this is the best chiropractor. No, is there any other?
Yay!
What I
Wow,
love,
am I allowed to say it?
what I love, I do talks.
Alone.
Thank you. I do talks. I've done talks for years. This one's a bit rusty. I haven't spoken for so long. But what I love is, and going to events like this in the UK, I did a lot. And what I really enjoyed about these events was people would come up to me and say, "Martin, I saw you 5 years ago, 8 years ago, whatever. I remember seeing you. I had this problem. I've been so great since then," and I love that. That's such a wonderful thing to have. To even if I don't know what's happened to that person, because many people, they come to see me, and maybe I don't, maybe I never see them again, and you wonder how's that person now? What's happened to that person? Did they get the results or the improvements they want? And that feedback of coming to these events and hearing those things is one of the things that makes my job a wonderful thing to do.
Beautiful.
So is this mostly based on physical problems and not mental problems?
So change when your nervous system isn't working at its best, it can affect all aspects of your life. So is chiropractic about mental health as well as physical health? I would argue yes. I would argue that there are, if you have mental stuff happening, then there are other ways to address those things as well. In the same way that physical health, I can push somebody put somebody in the right direction, but if they're still doing the thing that causes the problem, then the effects that I can have are limited. So if we take it as a physical health, I'm working in Tel Aviv now, and many people are sat in front of a computer all day like this. I had somebody just recently. She was a regular patient of the chiropractor I'm working with down there, and she said, I've had 9 visits here, and I'm just, I'm not getting the improvements I'm looking for. It's just not going the right direction. I said, okay, so let's think about what are you doing? What's your life like? What's happening? What's stopping you from getting the improvements you're looking for? She said, I work quite a lot. I sit in front of a computer. She sits in front of her laptop at home in the dining room table. How many hours do you work? And she said, somewhere between 10 and 12 hours a day, 5-6 days a week. And she's asking me why she's not getting the improvements she's looking for. She's sat like this all day for hours on end. It's not good for it's not good for how what else can she do? Exercise, what else? Movement, meditation, all sorts of other. So yeah, thinking about how you can get the best out of your health, get yourself back towards that 100% ability to heal, is a focus that I really enjoy looking at. Any other questions? I used to be able to talk for hours about this stuff, but it's been so long since I've done it.
Give a big applause to Dr. Martin.
Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'm over there. If you have any questions specific.